What is going on YouTube? Today I'm having pizza for the first time in like 5 or 6 years. I believe 2018 or 2017 is the last time I had pizza. It's been quite some time. I was driving by and I was like, you know what? That's an interesting video idea today. Not or like, you know, it's different from what I usually do because I haven't had in a long time, right? On the pizza here, I got ground beef and green olives. That is my go-to ever since I was a kid, introduced to it by my parents. And, you know, I always used to like it, so let's see if it still holds up, like 5 years later since last time I had it. I do know that pizza has kind of changed its quality over the years, but it's fine, it's a small pizza. We're also gonna talk about Oppenheimer, because I went and saw that yesterday, so that's really good, or not yesterday at the time I'm filming this video, last week when you guys see it, or like 3 days ago, 4 days ago, whenever you guys are seeing it. So we got the ground beef and green olives there, look at that. Looks pretty good, you know? It's an elite selection. I know some people won't like it, but it's delicious. It's not too bad. It's definitely just like, you know, pizza. Want pizza at 2 a.m. Pizza Hut's closed at like 10. Domino's closes at 1. This closes at 3 a.m. So that's good. So I'm now seeing that my camera's dying. So we're gonna hurry this up a little bit and eat. Hopefully it doesn't die while I'm eating. It tastes almost exactly how I remember it. It's kind of also like the same quality too. And then again, you know, things taste a bit different when you're younger. When you get older, you're like, oh, it doesn't taste as good as I remember it. Kind of what I'm getting right now. Still not bad. It was $8 for this, right? You go other places to get pizza. Small pizza at Pizza Mukbang, where I went there, was like $18. I don't know if you guys remember that, but $18. So Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan's new movie. About the life and times of Robert J. Oppenheimer, the guy who created the atom bomb or assisted creating the atom bomb. Now, movie's long. We had a lot of depth and had a lot of story. The characters are good, and the acting was stupendous as always. The sound design is very Christopher Nolan. You know, where people are talking, but you can't hear a word they're saying because it's so loud. Yeah, like that, because of the background music. But it was still really good. Kind of just goes through them building the atomic bomb, but also I'm trying to get a security clearance back, I believe, and how Strauss, the guy who Robert Downey Jr. plays, is like kind of on the opposing side. Tried to deny him because he's a personal vendetta about him. Because he felt like, you know, he was talked down to at a certain point in the movie. This movie's long and it felt long, but not really in a bad way. I do want to say though, at some points they were like jumping through through time. Almost, it would be like, oh, 2 years later, 3 years later, 1 year later, going to the past reference. I mean, it doesn't explicitly say it. And sometimes they get a bit confusing, especially when you're trying to follow all things that happen in the movie. But still a good movie. The special effects were outstanding because I believe there was no CGI for it. There was mainly no CGI. I mainly use practical effects for his explosions and things like that, which kind of makes the movie kind of like a cinematic marvel. Just also points in the movie where it's just like, wow, the way the storytelling is actually like really good. Like, for example, anytime something's in color, it's kind of how like Oppenheimer views things through his like lens subjectively. Anytime something's in black and white, it's how it like happened objectively, from what I hear. And I'm like, wow, that's really good. Like a storytelling perspective, it's really good. I see some people putting it in like the top 5 for Christopher Nolan. I personally wouldn't. I'll put like Inception, Interstellar, Dark Knight, and like a few others above it. And the reason why, I like the story in those a bit more. I feel like the story in those are a bit more interesting to me, because this one's kind of like a historical story talking about, you know, something that more or less happened in real life, you know? Maybe not exactly the way, because I don't believe that Oppenheimer actually regretted making the atomic bomb. So, I mean, you know, but just Inception, Interstellar just had more, because they're more sci-fi, it had more of like space, time, dreams. You know, there's fighting, there's all these things in it. Oppenheimer is very much just story driven. So in terms of like story, was really good. But like for me, my main driving factor comes from like a bunch of other things. Okay, so the camera just died, so we're just gonna do this really quickly. I can see why people put it in their top 5, but you know, not like top 1, 2, or 3. But with that being said, this is Pizza. 5 out of 10. It's not the best pizza, but it'll definitely get you through like a late night outing and you want something quick to eat and you want pizza. This is definitely the spot to go to. Tastes kind of how I remember. It used to taste better, but you know, I was a kid, so maybe my taste buds, you know, were still like silly back then. I don't know. But yeah, Oppenheimer, give it 8.5 out of 10. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, comment down what you want to try to talk about. I'm down to do that. So check out suggested videos on this side. And this is Pizza, 5 out of 10. First true review. Peace.